My name is Brett Vatesby, and today it's time for another brand new fantastic video here today. Inside of the video here today, the biggest challenges that I think beginner yo-yo players face. I'm going to be doing some talking today, so yeah, intro, and let us go. Alright guys, so let's do it. So the biggest challenges that beginner yo-yoers or yo-yo players face. So I remember when I first started yo-yoing, there was a lot of challenges that I faced, just like maybe some of you guys are or have already surpassed, possibly. So good for you if you've surpassed some of these challenges that you found were tricky earlier on, like certain tricks or finding the right yo-yo, stuff like that we're actually going to be talking about. So the first thing will be to find the right yo-yo. That could be a challenge, to find the right yo-yo. Do you like plastic better? Do you like metal better? I like plastic better personally. I just like to play with plastic a little bit more. It's more of what I've been accustomed to easily. I would say metal is not my preference. I just find that plastic is more compatible with me. So I just think that plastic is a better fit for me. But for you guys, definitely, it takes time to find the right yo-yo. Maybe buy a plastic one and buy a metal one. See which one you like better out of the plastic and the metal. Some people like metal better, and that's definitely good. What type of yo-yo do you like the best? Maybe you like the shutter, maybe you like the grasshopper, maybe you like, I'm honestly not even sure. Start with something cheap and then start learning a little bit, and then over time you can start collecting even more yo-yos. You can start off with the Replay Pro. Like I started off with plastics. You can start off with the Replay Pro for an example. Then maybe you can get a grasshopper, and then you can get a shutter, and you can try out the checkpoint. I think the checkpoint's really good too. The different shapes, the different designs and stuff for yo-yos. There's different preferences, right? So it's all about finding the one that you like and the preference that you enjoy. It's all preference, right? Yeah, that's a big thing right there. Finding the right yo-yo can be a challenge for beginners. It shouldn't really be the biggest challenge. Like, just buy whatever looks cool. That's always what I've done, is just buy what looks cool, that sounds interesting, get it, and then just start trying to learn some stuff. And then over time, you can get more stuff, more yo-yos to practice with. That gets us into our next point, which is practicing and performing yo-yo tricks. So, you get your first yo-yo and you want to start practicing tricks, like the intermediate tricks like ripcord, and some advanced tricks like double or nothing and jade whip and the matrix, and some of those beginner tricks that you can do. So those tricks take practice. Even the double or nothing honestly takes a lot of practice when you first start yo-yoing. And that's a challenge for a lot of people. Some people might give up because they can't do the ripcord, or they can't do double or nothing, or they can't do the matrix, or they can't even do trapeze in some cases. And it takes a long time. Even just to hit your first trapeze can take a pretty long time, and it's frustrating. And that's a challenge that a lot of yo-yo players go through when they first start, is just staying in it by doing these tricks and practicing and getting better and seeing the improvement that they need to see to get better. That's honestly a big thing, I think. So that's definitely a challenge, practicing and performing these yo-yo tricks. Also, something that I found was tricky for me is learning how to set up the yo-yos. So whether you're looping or you're doing the unresponsive tricks and stuff like that. So the length of string, how do I cut the string? How do I make a slip knot? How do I know all these things? How do I set up my yo-yo? The response pads, there's so much stuff to learn, I find, when you first start with, what do response pads do? What does this do? What does that do? What length does my string need to be? How do I make a slip knot? How do I get comfortable? Stuff like that. And even just setting up the yo-yo can be pretty challenging sometimes. How do I take it apart? How do I take care of the ball bearing and stuff like that? And with looping yo-yos as well, it can be hard with, like the string length and, what's the best kind of response for looping yo-yo? Starburst? Is it response pads? You know what I mean? All that stuff can be kind of challenging. The adjustable gap, maybe that's your way to go. So finding the right yo-yo and finding out how to set up these yo-yos, because different yo-yos use different setups, right? So that can be challenging as well. And also string tension can be challenging. Your string gets really twisted up. That frustrates a lot of people. When their string gets twisted up, and it's hard to get it loosened, so it's not tightening up when you're doing tricks and it's getting all twisted. and it's really annoying sometimes. So that can be frustrating for someone that's new and they don't know how to solve the string tension problem. You know, when it's too tight and it's getting twisted up, or if it's too loose and, you know, it's not binding back to your hand. You know, and you're starting to see that the twisted strands are actually like going parallel to each other, and that's how loose it's becoming. They're right next to each other, right? So that can be something that takes learning. So setting up yo-yos, learning how to set up your yo-yos is another big thing, I think, as well. And yeah, learning about the different types of yo-yoing and the different types of yo-yo models. You know, like the imperial shapes or the modified shapes and the butterfly shapes. You know, that's a little bit of learning as well. So the next thing, which I think is really important in progressing with yo-yoing, and especially when you're a beginner and you're starting to learn these tricks that have taken you practice and stuff. So finding your style with what you're doing in yo-yoing, the tricks that you're doing. So I'm not saying like finding which kind of style of yo-yoing you like. So like 1A or 2A or off string or freehand or something like that. I'm talking about once you're in that specific style of yo-yoing, how are you finding, you know, your style is becoming over time, you know, with freestyle tricks and stuff. And, you know, what kind of tricks do you like doing? Which tricks are you best at? Which tricks do you find are the easiest? You know, that's something that you're going to start realizing, is that, you know, you're going to be better at certain tricks than other tricks, and you're going to enjoy them more than other ones and stuff like that. So finding the style that you're enjoying in that specific type of yo-yoing play. So like with 1A, let's say you like doing double or nothing, and you like the jade whip like I do, and you like doing the hitomasa hook or something. You're going to do those tricks a lot more. You're going to build more stuff around those tricks with freestyle and even combos and stuff like that, your own yo-yo tricks possibly. So I think that's something that's really important, is finding your style within the style that you're doing. The type of yo-yo play that you're doing, finding that style that you enjoy in that type of yo-yo play. So that's really important, I think, and that's something that all yo-yoers go through, and, you know, they find which tricks they like the best, which ones that are coming easier for them, and they do more around that kind of stuff while they're practicing more of those harder tricks that take them more practice. You know, we could look at this video in multiple different types of ways. You know, another thing is a challenge for you as a beginner could be making your first video. You're making your first online video or personal video, whatever it becomes, you know. Making your first video, whether it's a freestyle like it was in my case, or if it's, you know, a tutorial video. You know, a lot of you guys like doing tutorials and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. You know, it could be a tutorial, it could be a freestyle video, it could be talking like this, which even talking like this has taken me a lot of time to be able to do. So yeah, making your first video, you know, that can be challenging, it can be hard, you know, thinking of something to do. You know, and just another aspect of a way you could look at something like this, you know, challenges that someone faces when they first start doing something. You know, we could look at this multiple different kinds of ways, right? So making your first video could be a challenge as well. You know, just take time to think about it, you know, think of what kind of video you want to do, practice your tricks, you know, start finding your style. You know, like if you like jade whip, you know, do a lot of that. You know, like in my first video, you can already see I've gotten good at jade whip and follow, and I've extended onto my jade whip tricks and moves and stuff like that. And, you know, it's always a lot of fun to learn more and to get further with what you enjoy doing. And, you know, making your first video could be a good way to start getting on the path that you want to go down. So this could possibly be the most important tip in this entire video, and that is to stay passionate to yo-yoing. So staying passionate to it. So not giving up, basically. You know, this is something you see yourself doing in the future, something you want to expand on, and something that you enjoy doing and you like learning more about and seeing other people do it and watching yourself advance and progress and get better at what you're doing. You know, that's definitely something that's really important, is staying passionate to it. It's not really a decision, you know, you'll know right away if you like doing it, or you'll know right away if you don't like doing it. You know, it's just all kind of like in your mind and what you want to do and what you see yourself doing. And that could be a big tip in this video here. Staying passionate to it, you know, noticing and realizing if you like it or not. You know, and if you like it, then you'll keep doing it and you'll keep watching my videos. Or if you don't like it, then you'll never watch any yo-yoing people online again or something, maybe. Me or anybody else. So stay passionate to it. Either you will or you won't. So it's up to you. So our last tip here today is simply going to be fitting in. So do you enjoy what you're doing? How are people reacting to what you're doing? Like people at school, people in your family, your friends, are they enjoying what you're doing? And most likely they will. They'll like what you're doing and they'll enjoy you for what you're doing. And that's all part of fitting in, fitting in at school, fitting in at home, or with your family or with friends. And obviously there's more to it than just yo-yoing. But, hopefully people that know you enjoy you for what you enjoy doing and your yo-yo tricks and stuff. And they really enjoy it when you show them and stuff like that. That's part of fitting in. Fitting in could be, online maybe, if you're starting to make videos and people like you. And, they enjoy who you are and what you're doing and everything like that. That takes time. All that stuff takes time. And when you're first starting, it can be different. People see you doing something different that they haven't seen you do before because you've just started because you're a beginner. And, hopefully they're on board with you and what you're doing and everything. And I guess it can be a challenge in a way where, it takes time to fit in and to get to know what you're doing better and to progress in what you're doing. And that's also part of fitting in. It just takes time, just like all these other things do. So, that's another good tip. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video here today. The biggest challenges that beginner yo-yoers face when they begin yo-yoing. If you guys are beginners, don't give up. Keep trying. You're on the right path. Hopefully you're passionate, you enjoy what you're doing, and hopefully you'll keep doing what you're doing. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. My name is Brett Batesby. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again in the video soon, again, next time.